Welcome back for another video. The Roundup is a new series on this channel that arms you with useful information to take into each game week to arrive at better decisions. This includes top predicted points, bookies odds, transfer trends and more. The international break is over and Game Week 4 is nearly here. That said, there's a number of players that may miss Game Week 4 through a FIFA ban, affecting Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leeds, Watford and Wolves. More on that later. If you find today's video useful, hit like so it can spread to others. I read every comment, so let me know what you thought of the Game Week 4 roundup below. Enjoy the video. We'll start with the Goalscorer Odds, which are always based on the assumption that a player starts, and this is sometimes not the case. Unsurprisingly, Ronaldo tops the Goalscorer Odds for Game Week 4, facing Newcastle at home. It's the first game of his return, and an attractive fixture to say the least. Newcastle are second worst in the league for expected goals conceded after Arsenal, with 8 XGC from their opening 3 games. They're also second worst for minutes per big chance conceded, given one up every 26 minutes so far. Ronaldo's positioning is exceptional, and if he finds himself on the end of a big chance, there's a big chance he buries it. Lukaku faces a Villa side who will be missing Martinez between the sticks and Buendia too, due to quarantine rules. They'll be missing a few other players through injury too, which we discussed in the Game Week 4 captains video, so it could be a goal fest for Chelsea. Lukaku is one to keep an eye on. Having said that, he's carrying a minor strain and will be getting a scan. If you're considering him for the captaincy, keep yourself with praise during the presses. Chelsea topped the clean sheet odds for Game Week 4. Since Tuchel took over last season, Chelsea have the best expected goals conceded of all teams on 15.4. Second place is City on 18.2. They're a resolute defence and very tough to break down. Chances could be far and few between for the likes of Danny Ings, hence him appearing on the most transferred out list. More on that later. Shaw is the most owned defender in the game by some distance, and owners will be glad to see Man United second on the clean sheet odds. Everton and Arsenal are tied third on 42%. Could we see the first Arsenal clean sheet of the season in the Norwich game? As expected, at the opposite end of the scale, Newcastle are rock bottom with a 7% chance of a clean sheet, followed by Villa and then Leeds, who face Liverpool at home. Leeds have failed to keep a clean sheet so far this season and may struggle again this coming game week. Rafinha is one of those players that may miss Game Week 4 through suspension. Salah owners will be hopeful for involvement by him in that fixture. Captaincy is an interesting one this game week, with Ronaldo likely to be heavily captained. Could Salah be flying under the radar compared to his usual selection? On to the predicted points. Ronaldo and Salah tie first with 6.8 predicted points, followed by Fernandes. Jimenez drops out with his expected minutes having been reduced in FPL Review's algorithm. He's another player who may miss Game Week 4 through suspension. Wolves will be desperate for their first points of the season, and have been unlucky not to have scored yet either. Could this be the game week they kick on, as their fixtures turn very favourably? Jimenez is third among all players priced under 8 million for predicted points over the next 5 game weeks. Wolves face up against Watford away this Saturday at Vicarage Road. Mount got quite consistent minutes last season despite Tuchel's rotation, and he could be another great pickup as the fixtures turn nicely for Chelsea in Game Week 7. The most transferred in player heading into Game Week 4 is of course Ronaldo, who has been picked up by over 1.3 million managers. Due to him being added to the game on the 31st of August, his price is locked for 10 days and therefore he'll remain at 12.5 into Game Week 4. Torres hauled in Game Week 3 and has been playing out of position for Man City. Priced at only 7.1, you can understand why many managers are rolling the dice with Pep Roulette. Antonio's breathtaking start to the season notches him past the 50% mark for ownership, with another 700k managers picking him up. If you still don't own him at this point, it'll be a very nervy Game Week 4 as he faces Southampton. Spurs have kept 3 clean sheets in 3, and Reguilon appears to be the most nailed so far, so you can understand why he's on the rise too. Spurs signed Emerson this window, who plays in right back, which is unfortunate news for Tanganga owners as he may be rotated soon. Bruno Fernandes is the most sold player. Are you one of the 750,000 plus that binned him this game week? The expectation is that he loses penalty duties to Ronaldo, and therefore he'll no doubt be at the top of this list because of managers looking for ways to fund Ronaldo. Danny Ings' fixtures turn for the worst over the next 4. He's a clinical player, but other similarly priced strikers such as Antonio, Calvert-Lewin, Jimenez, Bamford are expected to do better, so it's understandable why he appears so highly. Shaw is a surprising name to see so highly mass sold. However, his high ownership will play a part in that. He'll have Ronaldo to aim crosses at now and takes corners, so it might be unwise to get rid now, especially before the Newcastle game at Old Trafford. Calvert-Lewin is another name on the list that is quite surprising. He did withdraw from international duty with a minor injury, however there's no confirmation that this will cause him to miss Gameweek 4, in fact he's expected to play if anything. He's on penalty duties for Everton, which is a great trait to have in an FPL asset. We've talked about Martinez missing Gameweek 4 due to quarantine, so it's no surprise to see him there. On to the captaincy results for Gameweek 4. Thank you to everyone for submitting your votes on our Discord. If you'd like to join too, a link is in the description. The results are in and they are as follows. Salah leads the poll with just shy of 50% of the vote, followed by Ronaldo, who's been picked up by over 1.3 million managers since being added to the game. Lukaku comes in third place with 10% of the vote, though we could see this creep up if we get concrete news in the press conferences that he's fit and ready to play. This game week we've added a slide on the potentially banned players. If a resolution isn't reached and the ban stands, then it will have a significant impact on many teams. As mentioned, it's still a developing situation, but I wanted to include a slide on this, with the main takeaway being not to make your transfers until we have a clear decision. For argument's sake, we'll call it the ban watch list. To summarise the situation, the clubs these players represent blocked them from going on international duty, and as a result, bans have been imposed by FIFA that would prevent them from playing for 5 days. This means they would miss Gameweek 4. And as you can see, it's mainly the Brazilian players affected, but Alisson and Ederson will be big misses between the sticks. In City's case, Stefan is unavailable due to Covid, so their third choice keeper, Carson, would start. Fabinho is another big miss from a defensive perspective for Liverpool. That said, if Rafinha is unable to play, then the Leeds attack will likely be weakened too. If you'd like to read up on it more, I've included a link to an article in the description. For now, be mindful and wait for the press conferences. Thank you for watching this Game Week's episode of the Roundup. If you found it useful, please hit like so it can spread to others, and hit subscribe if you're new. I read every comment, so as always I'm keen to hear your thoughts.